This video is to give you a quick overview of the stepper motor controller. It controls 4 bipolar stepper motors, 1, 2, 3, and 4 in that order, and has 4 final drive chips, the 293D, one for each motor. Now, controlling that are 3 PIC chips. And this first one, which is labeled CVRobot01, does all the communication between the computer USB stack and gives high-level commands to the other 4 motors. Now, those high-level commands are processed by these 2 chips, the L297EM, which emulates the L297 chip, and creates the proper signals for A, B, C, and D for each of the motors. Another thing worth mentioning is that this board does not have current limiting, so you need to be very careful about which motors that you attach to this. If you bought the kit and are assembling this board by yourself, there's a few things to watch out for. The first is to refer to the high-resolution photo that's on the website and assemble the parts as seen here. There's not that many parts, but the things to be careful of is the orientation of each of these chips. If you look at this 293, for example, at the very top you'll see a notch, and that notch indicates where pin 1 is, right next to this round dot here. So that's pin 1, and it goes all the way down to pin 7, and then it goes 8 and up to 14. And so when you're assembling this on the circuit board, just make sure that the notch is facing the correct way. And if you're unsure about the orientation of these chips, you might want to go to Radio Shack and pick yourself up. These are very, very inexpensive. These dual inline chip packages, which enables you to solder that onto the board and then press the ICs onto the board as well. And that's very helpful. 1, to make sure that you have the orientation correct, and 2, if for some reason you need to change one of the chips, if you make a mistake and burn out the 293, for example, you can easily replace them. So something worth going to Radio Shack. They're less than $1 a piece. Also, there's 3 capacitors here that filter out some noise, and the C1 capacitor has the number 104 on it, and C2 and C3 have the number 220. Another thing I would note is that there's 2 connectors here. One is the USB, and the second is this power input, which we currently use a 12-volt laptop adapter for. The USB will power this chip and all the logic, so you can actually test the board without powering it up with this 12-volt connection. The 12-volt connection is used for the 293s and is what provides the power to the different motors. So if you are going to be using the motors, definitely have this connected as well. But if you're just initially setting up and calibrating things, just using the USB is sufficient.